Welcome, welcome. Today we are doing Career Gems with Jen. This is our January series, New Year, New You. And this is episode 2, Overcoming Your Fears. So today we'll be speaking with Stephen Liu. He is a supply manager at Lockheed Martin and an amazing LinkedIn guru who has overcome his fears of public speaking and will be coming to talk to us a little bit about that. So without further ado, here is Stephen. And good morning. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Jennifer. I'm doing great. It's very early here on the West Coast, but as we said, as I talked to you a little earlier, I wake up at 5 every day, so this is normal for me.
That's amazing. And so, why do you wake up so early? Is it part of your success regimen? Do you work out early in the morning, or?
I guess I'll start from the beginning. When I started my first job at Lockheed, my lead came in at work at 5 in the morning.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'm not going to come in at 5, right? It's way too early, but I can't come in at 9 because by the time you're gone in the afternoon, I still got half my day. So we compromised on like 6:30 or 7, and based on that, I had to get up at 5 to get ready to get to work. And then now, with the pandemic, I get to work from home, and it's just became a routine. So this morning or every morning actually, wake up at 5, spend about half an hour on LinkedIn posting, going through my notification, going through the newsfeed, and I spend about half an hour learning my languages, and then I start work at 6. I work for about an hour and go eat breakfast and work for the rest of the day. So that's kind of the routine I picked up since from working from home.
That's amazing. I love the discipline. I tend to be a little bit more erratic with my schedule. I like more flexibility to do things differently on different days, but I always envy those people who are really great about staying structured with it. So congrats in that regard. They say that millionaires are the ones who wake up at like 5 a.m. and have all their stuff together. So I think I need to take a page out of your book and get better about that. Well, good morning, everyone. So let's just start it right off, Stephen. I would love to talk about your journey on LinkedIn and what got you started showing up there and how you sort of found the confidence to do that. I know a lot of people struggle with putting themselves out there. They don't want to make videos. They don't want to be seen. They're worried about how they're going to come off to people. So would love to just hear more about your journey and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, sure thing. So I started posting on LinkedIn in 2017, and I was posting monthly articles. My purpose with that was, I have these goals for the year. I have my New Year's resolutions, and I want to hold myself accountable to make sure I achieve these goals. And what's the best way to do that? In my opinion, I thought the best way was to tell as many people as possible that here are my goals every year or this year, and this is what I'm doing to achieve them. And I decided to post it on LinkedIn. So in 2017, every single month, I wrote an article saying, here are my goals for the year. Here's the progress I'm making towards them, and people comment on them, and so people can hold myself accountable. Near the end of 2017, I'm still in that goal-setting mindset, and I said, okay, well, obviously the next progression here is to do something weekly on LinkedIn. And around the same time, I had a good friend of mine post the first video I've ever seen on LinkedIn. And it was just him with a cell phone at a park. I forgot what he was talking about. So I said, okay, I will do weekly videos. But what is 52 things I can talk about, right? And as we coordinate this, I'm a planner. So I was like, I need to have 52 things to talk about before I even start. This is totally the wrong way to go at it if you're thinking of starting to post content on LinkedIn. But anyways, so what's 52 things I can talk about? I was thinking, well, I've been to a lot of presentations, I've been to a lot of seminars, I have mentors, and I take a lot of good notes from these events that I go to. So I can possibly, go through all my notes and come up with 52 things. So that's what I did. I had a list of about 40. I said I could make up more as I go along. So January 1st, 2018, I posted my first video on LinkedIn where my career tip was at a networking event. Before you introduce yourself, before you approach someone, think in your head that I really like you, and that just brings positive energy, brings positive vibes, and it changes your body language. And I still do that even when I'm talking to someone on the phone. Smile, have a positive, impression, and that makes it go a long way, right, with your voice. So yeah, in 2018, started posting videos on LinkedIn. And I've been doing that ever since. So 2018, went through that whole 52-week challenge, had so much fun, decided to do it all over again in 2019. But I didn't have any more things to talk about because I went through my whole list of things. So in 2019, I just like, all right, well, I got to make it up as I go, and that really made my videos a lot more personable and a lot more organic. I was dealing with a lot of stuff in 2019. I changed jobs, became a project manager, so I had my struggles with that. I was doing grad school at the same time at night, so I talked a lot about kind of the things I was going through with stress management, with time management, how my approach to grad school, my approach to work, being a project manager, and just being a little more personable with my videos instead of saying, "Oh, do this, do that." Sharing stories made my videos a lot, like I said, got a lot more engagement. And in 2020, had big plans to travel, couldn't do that, and experimented with different types of videos. 2020, I started the year off with cooking videos. Might bring that back. It's a lot more work to film and coordinate and edit. So I did cooking videos, but I eventually went back to doing career tips and sort of back into that 2019 style with stories and kind of what I'm going through. And in the middle of the year, I decided I'm going to do videos, but I'm going to start doing more text posts and kind of diversify how I'm posting. And to my surprise, my text posts really got way more views, got way more engagement than my videos. And I don't know why I was always against text posts, because text posts are literally just scripts for my videos. So, kind of a tip there is, hey, you don't know what's going to happen until you post. So, just post and, adjust and learn as you go along. So, don't hesitate, don't overthink it, and just post.
I love that. Love all of that advice, guys. So for those of you just tuning in, Steven wasn't showing up on LinkedIn. I wasn't showing up on LinkedIn up until like 5 months ago, guys. It wasn't that long ago that I started this journey. And so what I want you to take from this, with everything Steven just said, is just start. Just start posting. You don't, it doesn't need to be, I cannot speak today, but, I feel like so often, it feels like you're caught in a rock and a hard place, at least from what people tell me, my clients. I feel nervous. I don't have things to talk about. And I love how you said that you needed the 52 things, because I'm totally the same way. I'm a total planner, and I would have sat down and been like, oh, I need all this. But no, Steven's absolutely right, guys. That is one way to approach content. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad way, but you can do things organically too. It doesn't need to be always super professional. Obviously, LinkedIn is a professional platform. We want to, not curse, not talk about inappropriate things. But when it comes to speaking about your personal life, we're humans, right? Mm-hmm. Even when we go to work every day, even as we are on LinkedIn and working with people, we're humans first and foremost, and we have those real emotions, whether it be happiness, sadness, and just share with others what you're going through, because I guarantee you, no matter what part of your career you are in, what walk of life you come from, there are people out there who will resonate with whatever message you have to share.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said it when I started sharing the struggles I was going through with time management, with stress management, working full time, master's part time. A lot of people resonated with that, and that's why I said you got a lot more engagement, right? You get more views and comments, and you just build a larger community, a larger support community through that as well.
Right. And that's exactly what LinkedIn is about, guys, building that network, building that support, that community. So please submit your questions in the chat as we're talking. If you have any questions for Steven, for myself, how you can break out of your shell more, show up on LinkedIn, overcome your fears, please let us know. We'd be happy to answer those for you towards the end. And I'll share a little bit now about what I went through when I started showing up on LinkedIn, guys, because I'd say that my experience is a lot different than other people's in the sense that I'm not shy at all. I've never been shy. Like, showing up on LinkedIn wasn't an issue of me like, oh, I don't want people looking at me, because I've been in theater and choir my whole life. So I'm very much used to being a performer. I have no problem being on stage, being watched. I'm very comfortable there. In fact, so for me, it was more so about my personal life. I was really worried about what are all the people who do know me in real life going to say? What are they going to think about what I'm doing? Are they going to think that, I'm dumb? Are they going to think that like this journey that I'm going on is stupid? And are they going to think I'm full of myself because I'm starting a LinkedIn show and all this stuff? And that's really where my head was at. And I had to sort of sit with myself and tell myself, like, quite frankly, like, who cares? This is my life. This is me showing up for me. This is me using my power, my influence on LinkedIn, and don't be afraid to do the same, guys. We spend so much time concerned about what other people think about us. And to be honest, half the time people aren't even looking at you when that you think they're looking at you. They don't really care what you're doing because they're so wrapped up in their own individual lives. So just do you, live your dream, and start showing up in whatever way you're most comfortable. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. With that first video, I like telling this story. With that first video, I had it ready to go. Right? I was going to hit upload, and I couldn't do it. I sat there for like 15 minutes. And I was like I don't know why I'm doing this, right? And it's like people are going to judge me, and it's like, why am I doing this? I just, a lot of self-doubt started coming in, and basically, and I had a good conversation with someone about this yesterday. You basically just have to say F it, right? Keeping it PG here, but you just gotta say, hey, F it. Don't let other people judge you. Just, you just gotta do it. So I uploaded it, and I had immediate regret. Like, I was about to delete it right after I uploaded it too, because I uploaded it and I said, man, like, people are going to judge me. I said I was going to do a 52-week challenge in the video, and what if I don't do it? I'm going to quit. But I'm glad I didn't, because if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I went from a shy introvert, and that first video was like, that's cringy for me to watch it, because I was so nervous. I couldn't even look at the camera, and I was stuttering and things like that. But I think it's just an example of how far I've come and how far I've grown. So, with posting content, don't let other people judge you, right? Don't overthink and say, oh, what are people going to think? Because, as I said earlier, just post, and you don't know what's going to happen. And especially on LinkedIn, you're going to get 99% positive comments, right? This isn't YouTube where it's anonymous. This isn't, Facebook where it's, a lot more personal. You got political stuff and things like that. It's LinkedIn. It's professional, right? And so, you're just going to get positive comments. And even, throughout my 3 years of posting here, yeah, I got, my share of negative comments, but no one said, oh, you suck, right? Or like, you look ugly or whatever. But it was more, what's the word I'm looking for? It was just more areas of improvement, right? It's like, hey, like your face angle, like you're looking down at the camera or something. I was like, okay, now work on it, and just ask for feedback. So those are the only type of, I wouldn't even say negative comments I get. And they're not even that negative. They're just areas of feedback. So, LinkedIn is such a supportive community, and post, and you're just going to get nothing but positivity out of it.
Oh yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's a very supportive community. You'd be really surprised how many people just want to help you. And it only helps you as job seekers as well, guys. I know it's hard to wrap your head around how content can help you, because I didn't really see it before I started engaging either. But it's more so about the people that you can connect with and the opportunities that come from the content and the engagement that you take when you're educating people and helping them. It's all about sharing your knowledge, and all of that comes back to you absolutely tenfold. So, Stephen, I want to ask you about, so LinkedIn, you've shown up on LinkedIn, you're definitely more comfortable, you have a virtual presence. Do you feel like that's translated into your personal life and how you interact face-to-face with humans as well?
Oh, definitely. And, right now, my job as a project manager, I got to talk to a bunch of different people, right? I got to talk to finance people, I got to talk to schedulers, I got to talk to engineers, and then, I got to talk to management, I got to talk to the customer, I got to talk to the suppliers. And, before the pandemic, all this was in person as well. So, if I didn't do these videos, if I didn't get a lot more self-confidence in myself and just be comfortable with public speaking, being comfortable with talking to people, especially as a project manager, you got to know what you're saying, right? You got to show confidence that, hey, we're going to make this deadline, or we're doing this, or whatever issue or whatever's going on. You have to have confidence when you speak, because if you don't, no one's going to take you seriously. So with these videos, it definitely has helped my personal life, has helped my work life. When people talk to me, they're like, oh, like, you're just open and you're able to talk to everyone, and like, how are you able to do that? And, it's a journey, right? And, as I said earlier, I started as a very shy introvert, right? And, being nervous, talking to people, not comfortable with networking, not comfortable talking to people, but just through practice and just, watching myself every single week through video, and just like, okay, this is what I do, and fixing my tendencies with filler words, just things like that, just making improvements over time. It's going to make a really, really big difference.
100%. And we have our first question. So Will would like to know, what is the recommended posting schedule? I will let you take this first, Stephen, and then I will take a stab at it.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your answer as well. So I said earlier I did a 52-week challenge. I think that's a great rhythm to have because we're all busy, right? And of course you can get better at time management, things like that. But with the 52-week challenge, I had a full-time job. Had classes at night, so I'm basically during the work week. I'm packed, right? Like I can't do anything. I can't go film. So with the 52-week challenge, it makes it where you have to think about it each week. So during the week, I'm like, oh, what do I want to film about? What do I want to talk about? And I spend time maybe on a Friday or on the weekend. I shoot the video, I edit it real quick, and then I upload it. And with the 52 weeks and having it on a weekly basis, is you can see that improvement. Because I've seen people do a 30-day challenge, which I think it's great as well. But with the 30-day challenge, you definitely fall into habits, right? You're like, oh, I'm just going to, you're just trying to post videos. You're just trying to put out content as quickly as possible. So you don't experiment with things. You don't try to spend 2 hours trying to, figure out how to, do this editing, trick or whatever. You don't try to experiment. So with the 52 weeks, it's a long commitment. Yes, it's over a whole year, but it's because it's only once a week. You can definitely set aside 1 to 2 hours a week, putting together a video, right? Especially when you're starting, you're trying to figure out how to, edit or how to think about what to say or just learning how you go. And as you start doing it throughout the year, you get more and more efficient. I used to do my subtitles manually and editing, and it took me an hour and a half, right? And yes, over a week is not that much time. But then now, as I'm more serious about it, I pay for a service, and now I have a video shot, edit, subtitles, everything done in half an hour. So my opinion is I think a weekly basis is great. And as you come up with more content, you can start posting more often, right? You can start getting to that rhythm and you figure out what works for you.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you hit the nail on the head, especially if you're just starting out. For me, I think whatever cadence you're comfortable with, obviously you don't want to stretch yourself too thin. I know some people who have the ability to post every day. If you do, hats off to you. Take an hour every morning, come up with either a video or a text post or, any sort of post, is useful. But yeah, I would say at least once a week is a great place to start. And video is a great place to start as well. To echo what Steven said, video is the most consumed thing on the internet. And they say in all of the, upcoming trends and analytics and everything that we're only continuing to trend towards video. So if you are willing to show up on camera, and again, it doesn't need to be fancy. I shot one of my first videos in my car, just talking about opportunities and what it can do for you. So it doesn't need to be some fancy overproduced thing. Eventually you can get to that point, it looks nice, as you can see by my live stream, when you have time to do all this stuff. And when you really get into it, but this does not have to be the level that you operate at to start showing up. So just start showing up in whatever way you feel comfortable. And yeah, I would say at least once a week, because the LinkedIn algorithm does prefer people who post often. So post often, and engage with your network. Networking is all about building those relationships, and it's hard to build those relationships if you aren't showing up.
Yeah, great question there, Will.
Yes, that was a great question. So moving right along, I want to keep talking about fears. Let's keep talking about overcoming those. So Steven, besides public speaking, I'm going to put you in the hot seat here. What are some of your fears in regards to work and your professional development? Is there anything that you're struggling with right now that maybe our audience could relate to?
Yeah, I think a couple good examples is fear of rejection, and then as well as imposter syndrome, right? So just fear of, hey, do I belong here or do I deserve to be here? I think that's something everyone faces, no matter if you're an entry-level person or you're a CEO or anyone. I mean, even you can look at me and say, oh yeah, Steven doesn't fear anything, but it's we all have fear of rejection, and you just kind of learn how to get comfortable with it. I can't say you just totally get rid of it, but you just get comfortable with it, and that's how you have to approach things.
No, yeah, I would definitely agree. Fear of rejection is something that everyone goes through, and even people who show up, guys. And that's something that I actually made a video about that once too, called Authentically Me on my YouTube channel, if you want to check it out. But I get some comments sometimes from people, generally, like we discussed earlier, people on LinkedIn are very professional, very nice. But I will say they can be more harsh in the DMs sometimes when they're talking directly to you. And I've had a few people, come to me and say, it must be easy, though, to give advice and to tell people to do X, Y, Z, because you work at Google and you are, privy to all these sorts of opportunities. And to that, I always have to say, I show up on LinkedIn half the time for me. The things that I'm saying to everyone, it doesn't come from this place on this high horse where I'm like, I know better than you. I will teach you all how to do this. It's like I'm reminding myself, like, hey, you don't have to do it all. You don't have to be it all. It's not attainable to try to do those things. And we all face those fears of rejection, those fears of failure. So, keep in mind, even those people around you who seem like they have it all together, I promise you we don't. No one has it all together. So just really take everything with a grain of salt, lean into your strengths, and, face those fears. Start showing up on LinkedIn, guys. I promise you will not regret it. If you start showing up on LinkedIn, it's going to change your life.
Yeah. And I'm going to add, even after all these years, I have posts that I'm like, should I post this? Like, what are people going to say? And I still have that little bit of self-doubt, right? And, kind of my approach to this is, of course, I'm trying to make sure my content goes to as many people as possible. But I think, deep down, you have to have that mindset where, hey, I don't care if one person, or I don't care if 100 people look at this. I don't care if 1,000 or 10,000 people look at this. If at least one person takes away something from this, that's all that matters to me, right? And then that's kind of my purpose. That's my why, my reason why I post content on LinkedIn. Of course, I'm getting better at public speaking and helping my confidence and things like that. But I'm helping people, right? I'm giving career tips and advice, and I want to make sure everyone has the best opportunity possible to succeed in their career.
100%. And I totally agree with that. It's about the message, guys. Don't get overly focused on the likes, the shares, anything like that, especially when you're first starting out, because they're probably not going to be there. There's not going to be a ton of activity, but it's more so about, branding yourself, putting your knowledge out there, not only to help others, but to brand yourself as, a leader in your space and start showing people that you know what you say, and the best way to do that is to start showing up and educating others and giving to others. Giving before you take is one of the most crucial pieces of networking. I always love to spread that around. If you are willing to educate others and show them the way, later on, when there's something you need to know, people are going to be that much more willing to help you. So 100%. And please do keep submitting your questions in the chat, guys. If you have any more, we will be going for probably about another 10 minutes here talking about personal development and our fears. So, Stephen, sticking on our theme of LinkedIn content, I know you say, so we're doing a video still to this day every week, right? And do you mix it up with the text posts as well? What's your recommendation in how to keep it fresh?
Yeah, it's so I did the 52-week challenge with videos, and to be honest, I should have started doing text posts. And I think what put me away from it back in 2018, 2019, and even the early part of 2020, I think I did a text post. I forgot when, but somewhere in the middle there, and it just didn't do well. Right? I don't remember what it was about, and I was just like, okay, well, this sucked. This was a one-time experiment. This sucked, so I'm not going to do that ever again. But just something hit me in 2020. It's like, you can't just do videos because some people just don't like videos. Some people don't want to play a video and use up their data, right? And I still want to share my message. So, by changing up the way you present content, people learn in different ways, right? People like different types of content. So that's how, you have to, that's why you can post different things. And as I said earlier, text posts are literally just scripts for my videos. They're just a shorter version, right? In the videos, I can elaborate a little more. But that's what it basically is. I started doing polls, and I used the polls to gauge my audience, kind of, hey, like, what do you like? Like, what do you want to see type of thing? And then I can adjust my content to that. So, don't, as I said, when you're starting, don't overthink it. If you want to start with video, go start with video. If you, don't want to show your face, it's fine. Go do a text post, but show your personality through it, right? Don't, make it like, don't write it like it's a research paper or something like that. Just write in your own voice. And people will resonate with that. Because the more you act more human, the more people are going to resonate with you.
Yes, no, I agree with that tenfold. And I think something that people forget, because LinkedIn is professional, is that it's still social media, right, guys? Like, I'm sure on all of your social media profiles, if you have Twitter, Facebook, whatever, you may not use it as much anymore. Like, I still have Facebook. I get on it every day, but I rarely probably post, but I still use it. But I'm sure at some point on all of your social medias, you used to be good about posting, right? You used to post all the time on Twitter. You used to post all the time on Facebook. And so there's so many people who've never posted on LinkedIn. It's still social media. Like, we still want to know who you are. I would still love to get to know, what are you passionate about? What makes you tick? You know, what are your interests, and what value can you bring to my network and those around you? So it's about showing up, you know, for yourself, showing up for others, and also for, you know, hiring managers, recruiters, because as they come to your profile, if you have these sorts of things available, they're going to have a better understanding of who you are. And if they're looking for someone who's empathetic and cares about candidate experience and these things, if they go to your profile and that's glaringly obvious from your content and the things you put out there, you're going to be a candidate they want to speak to over someone whose LinkedIn is just sort of blank and they don't really know anything about and can't really get a feel for. So take advantage of it. It's still social media. What are your thoughts on that?
Exactly. And, you know, this was part of the conversation I had with someone yesterday. It's like, oh, you know, what if, you know, like someone's trying to hire me and they look at my posts, and it's like, you know, I said, well, if you look at my post, do you have a positive or negative impression on me, right? And if you look at my post, you see who I am, right? I help others. I, you know, share career tips and advice. You see my personality through the videos. You see, you know, this is an example of my brand, right? I used to be shy. Now, you know, now I'm a public speaker. I'm comfortable with public speaking. So, you know, definitely don't, you know, yes, it's a professional platform, but you can be personal, right? Treat it as, act as if you were, act on LinkedIn as if you're in the workplace, right? And, you know, in the workplace, you know, I doubt none of us are dressed in a suit and tie every single day, super formal. You know, you can only talk when you're, you know, talked to type of thing. No, you can, you know, people here are connections. People here are friends, and, you know, you treat your coworkers the same way. So, you know, whatever you will share with your coworkers, whatever you're going to share with people you work with, you know, that's perfectly fine to post on LinkedIn. And the last thing I want to add to this point is, if you're just thinking about what the heck do I post about yourself, right? And, you know, if you want to do video, a good example is spend 30 seconds to a minute to say, hey, this is who I am. This is my very first video on LinkedIn. I want to take this step to build my brand or put myself out there. And this is what I do. And this is what I want to do in the future. And I want to see where this goes. And that's it. You know, that's a 30-second video right there. And it's very easy. The easiest thing to talk about is about yourself, because no one knows yourself more than you. So, you know, if you just figure out what you want to talk about, you know, just talk about yourself and then start going from there, and ideas will come your way as you go through your newsfeed, as you get inspired from other people.
I love that. No, that's such a great place to start. Yeah. I challenge all of you out there, those of you who have not started showing up on LinkedIn and who are watching this right now, I challenge you to put out a small video. And if you're really against video, then a text post. I challenge you to put out a post. Do your first LinkedIn post, tag me in it, tag Steven in it. We will come like it. We will come support you. You know, just start showing up, guys. Start showing up, and I promise you it's going to make a huge difference in how you network, and it's really going to change the game. So that is about it, guys. I don't see any more questions. We're like right here at the time. So I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on today, Steven. I think that people learned so much valuable information from you. I'm going to take a lot of tips and tricks from you back to my fiance. I happen to fall in love with a shy introvert who needs some help coming out of his shell. So definitely going to take some of those tips and tricks to help him. And anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
Yeah, so I appreciate you having me on your LinkedIn Live. Been a big fan of your content. I'm really happy to have the opportunity to have a conversation with you. So, you know, really, you know, thank you for having me on here. And I just want to throw a personal plug here. My new 52-week challenge this year is to do a weekly LinkedIn Live. So I did my first one last week where I talked about SMART goals and my goals for the year, and I have one later today with June Colaroso. So make sure you connect with me, and we'll be talking about why you should create content on LinkedIn. So it's very similar to the topic we're talking about here. So that's my 52-week challenge. You know, it's definitely a lot more challenging than doing a video every single week. Yes, it's technically a video, but having to coordinate, having to have guests on every single week. So so I'm excited for that challenge this year, and I look forward to everyone's first post or everyone's next video or next post on LinkedIn. So you know, don't doubt yourself, have confidence in yourself, and just post and, you know, see what happens. You're just going to get nothing but positivity here on LinkedIn.
Love it, guys. Those are definitely words to take to heart. Connect with Steven, connect with myself, get to posting, guys, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Have a good